Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody. Go out there and support your favorite taco truck or taco company and enjoy your favorite taco. So this is Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. So let's take a look at what's moving today. Let me just move our screen around. Get to the heat map. Here's our heat map. NVIDIA is of the big cap tech is most notable that is down. Tesla is up. Meta is up. And Apple is kind of flat. So there we have it. Financials are mostly up. Energy is rebounding, continuing its rebound. And had a big pronouncement by Harry Dent that it's going to be a worst recession in a long time. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. So a lot of people have been pronouncing for a while. He said it's going to be everything is overvalued. And let me see if I can bring that back up. Said that big crashes happen when the markets go to a new record. Can't really find the article right now, but that's the gist of it anyway. That he sees everything is going to go down. So that's our news there. So let's stop the screen here. If you're worried about the economic fall down, this is where you should put your money. On annuity, BTC index average annual growth by about 5%, goes up a step. It's not come down, goes up another step. Or the indexes bob and weave, and if they do what Harry Dent is proclaiming, they're going to come down quite a bit. So that's the story there. Let's go to our charts. This is Otter Tail Power. Had a big run up. Just was looking at it a little earlier. Looks like we got a little breakout right about here. Not sure, there's a line. Could just come over there. And it's getting pretty close to his natural kind of breakout here of this consolidation. Needs to go up to 83.80. But let's go look at our charts. The dollar is down again after falling 6% yesterday. That's a pretty big drop right there. Gold is moving up 0.72% on the dollar's move. Silver is moving up as well. For those of you who had been watching before, I have physical silver. I said right around here, right around the day before this big move up, I said you should be taking your profits here. Take about 10%, and when it pulls back, first bounce, be buying there. So bought right about here. bought the 15% back. So on any move up, and just kind of recycle and rinse this. Do this over and over again. Once it gets to a peak, take 10% off the table. When it pulls back, add 15%. And that's what we did there. And now in copper, said once this thing ended and bounced, be going in, and that's what we did over here. Bought here, and I believe we bought some more when it got above the 50-day moving average, and it just continues moving on up. Looks pretty good at the moment. Southern Copper continues to move higher. Freeport McMoran as well. Vale gapping up today, up 1.25%. BHP, our favorite in Australia, this keeps on moving up. What do we see over here? We buying, big move up. Next day it gapped up slightly. Just keeps going on up, and has a 5% dividend, and so does Rio. And Rio is working on the right side of its base as well, gapped up over here and just continues rising. And let's take a look at the Treasury bond continues to drop. Hit a peak up here pretty close to 5%. Now it's under 4% at 3.91. And the 20-year is kind of bottoming at 3.06. And our VIX had popped up here to the declining 10-day moving average and is pulling back slightly today, down 1.35. S&P 500 is up 2 points today, up 0.43%. And equal weight RSP is up 0.74%. Looks healthy for the market if more boats are starting to rise. The NASDAQ is up slightly, 0.35%. Equal weighted NASDAQ is up even more, 0.56%. Got a little bit of a gap up. The small caps continue to rise in strength, up 1.53%. We can just take a look back at history. They still got a long way to go to get to an all-time high, which would be up here. But it is good that small caps are rising. And our Dow Jones continues to be strong leader as well, up 0.58%. And let me pull up the news. World news, the Bank of Japan maintained ultra-loose policy settings and expected move, waiting for more evidence on whether wages and prices would rise enough to justify a shift away from massive monetary stimulus. At the two-day meeting that ended on Tuesday, the Bank of Japan kept its short-term rate at negative 0.1, and that was for the 10-year government bond yield around 0%. Also left unchanged a pledge to ramp up stimulus without hesitation if needed. Number of private equity deals targeting technology companies has tumbled about 44% year over year, Dealogic reports. And now on to the news. Sector news. Pepsi downgraded to neutral from overweight at JP Morgan and cut target to 176 from 185. And it was up slightly in information, but the relative strength just continues to plummet. Yesterday was the highest volume in this base. Doesn't look like very appetizing at the moment anyway. Jefferies initiates coverage on several pet-related stocks. Chewy got a nice bump with that, up 11.45%. PetQ at a buy, up 3.84%. Fresh Pet, just up 0.73%. Bark, got a 1.37, but it looked like hardly anything happened. This has been pretty ugly downturn here. As I said before, nothing good happens under the 200-day moving average, and it's under $1. And Wolf, so Bark and Wolf are a hold, Seb. Says Jefferies, Energy, Industrials, and Materials. Let's take a look at our oil pricing. Up on a weekly basis, up 1.23%, still under the 200-day moving average. Phase Energy is moving up pretty strong there. We'll see if it can get above its 200-day moving average. Said it decided to reduce its global workforce by approximately 10%, impacting approximately 350 contractors and employees, streamlining operations by ceasing operations at contract manufacturer locations in Timisoara, Romania, and Wisconsin in the United States. So HEICO, Q4 EPS 74 cents versus 68 cents. Q4 sales 936.4 million versus 908 million, and it has moved up quite a bit, up a little over 1%. Good volume yesterday, and pretty good volume continues today. Permian Resources files to sell 39.4 million shares of Class A common stock for holders. And dilution is, nobody likes this type of dilution, so it sold off pretty strong. It is fighting to come back. Rockwell Automation upgraded to overweight from equal weight at Wells Fargo, and it got a gap up today, up 1.64%. And on to financials, American International Group was upgraded to outperform from market perform at BMO Capital as lower protection limits and more reinsurance protection lift worries over reserves. So it's moving up 1.43% and pretty muted volume, but it looks like we got a gap up and then currently at the high for the day. Down to healthcare. Amgen was upgraded to outperform from market perform at BMO Capital and raised target to $326 from $286. And we got a nice move. It's like a little cup with a handle here. We'll just see if it gets a volume. I'd like to see some volume and see if it can break out of this level right here. So Bluebird Bio has been in the news, and they have a $150 million common stock offering, and nobody likes that. So we got 2 days down in a row, actually three days down in a row. Huge gap down a little over 18%. Kenvue gained overnight after a court ruled in its favor in a class action lawsuit alleging prenatal exposure to Tylenol may contribute to autism in children. Manufactures essential consumer health products. So we got a gap up. And it looks like it's about ready to close on its low, but it's up 3.14%. And we'd like to see that pretty good volume. Unicure downgraded to neutral from buy at Mizuho and slash target from $52. Let's see. I guess I had the wrong ticker symbol, and that is down 15% today. Wave Life Sciences upgraded to outperform from market perform at Lyrinc. We got a nice gap up on pretty good volume, up 11%. Technology, media, and telecom. Google has agreed to pay $700 million and to allow for greater competition in its Play App store, according to the terms of the antitrust settlement with the U.S. states and consumers disclosed on Monday in San Francisco federal court. Stock was up yesterday, and it's up again slightly today. Taiwan Semi said its board had recommended current CEO and Vice Chairman C.C. Wei succeed Mark Liu, who will be retiring next year as chairman, offering continuity to the major Apple supplier. So that's our news for today. Let's take a look at what's hitting our ETFs. Financials had a 2-day pullback, and now they're trying to bounce back, up 0.65%. Energy, as we saw in the heat map, is now above its 200-day moving average. Communications with Google and Meta, it just continues to move up 0.8. Real estate, 2-day pullback and is bouncing today. Housing stocks, after a 2-day pullback, they're bouncing as well. Now let's go to our biotech. 1-day pullback and bouncing. Both this one for a change is starting to look a little better than the XBI. Our software just continues to roar ahead. This is the leading ETF, has been for a while. XLK technology is up 0.2% today. Infrastructure continues to move higher. Semiconductor is up 0.27%. Airlines, 2-day pullback, and now they're moving higher. Here is materials sector. Looks pretty good. Gold, silver, copper have really helped this move up. And let's see. In our high beta index, which seems to be closed, continues to move higher as well, up 0.35%. See where the big money is moving today. UBS, Payne Weber, got a big jump. Pretty good volume here. Just take a look at some of the other ones in the group. JP Morgan's moving up. We looked at Wells Fargo for the day, had a gap up 2-day pullback and is moving back up. Giga Cloud Technology, Hong Kong-based global trade service company, business to business e-commerce. What do we got here? We got a cup with a handle. And now it's breaking up. This would have been the buy area to buy. Pretty good volume right here. And the volume just continues today. We looked at HEICO in the news. HEICO Class A, up slightly, up 0.4%. 2 days of volume and increase. Carvana just keeps roaring ahead. Yeah, I believe we first had them here on the gap up. And they came up on the news again, high volume. Somebody just keeps pushing this one up, just keeps buying. It's getting pretty close to the profit zone right now. Marathon Digital had a big, looks like it broke out yesterday. And it just gapped up today, kind of pulled back. I believe we can take a little closer look at Marathon after we look at this. Ryan Air continues to lead the airlines, up another 1% today. Look at this. So we had a gap up here, then we had a breakout over here. So if you waited till 112.75, you'd want to buy it at 112.85. So that'd be the natural breakout. Look at all these blue bars down here. As we like to say, that's not your Aunt Edna buying. That is professional money managers putting their money to work. Cyber art technology. I believe when the war first started, this really sold off over in Israel. And now look at this just take off with all the other cyber technology software. This is Copa down in Panama, I believe. Yeah, Panamanian passenger and cargo services. This has been the strongest one down in the South America area as a stock anyway. So there might be an early buy. I would say right around here. You stay here, 98.24, 99.70. So you want to be buying at 98.70 would be the breakout. Want this previous high. So it'd be right around, so it'd be the day right after that heavy volume. But it just continues moving up. So we got Ryanair and Copa as we look back at the jets or the airline ETF. You can see why it's moving up. We got Joy, Chinese voice and video communication services, networking, moving up. The volume is a little low over here, but their earnings came in at 27% beat. Earnings surprise is 73%. Now Adobe is starting to be bought up here. Got good buying here, good buying here. People didn't really like how they're earning, so they sold off here. Gap down, but it is now moving on up. It is above its 10 and 20-day moving average. Looks like a bounce. Right around the 50-day moving average is where a lot of institutions will support a company's stock. So that's good. Start to move up and up 1.30% today. That's our look at what's up. Let's take a notable US steel is down slightly, but it had a huge move on the being bought by the Japanese steel play. Next tracker in the solar space, big sell off today. Went into the breakout zone and could not hold it. So the volume wasn't as high on the breakout, but that is pretty notable. Fact set research systems pulling back a little over 1%. Here's another one in the solar that is pulling back pretty strong. Arai and SMCI, which is pretty volatile, will jump. We kind of, I believe we looked at it yesterday, put on option at 320, 325. We took it off today and put one on at 310, 320. So we'll see if this pullback is like a handle, and then it comes back up, but it has been all over the place today. So let's go to looking for the information on Mara. Marathon Digital. Yeah, so let's bring it up here on the screen. Marathon Digital plans to expand operations at Bitcoin rebounds heading into 2024. The stock has clearly already rallied an amazing amount. Has a little bit of a pullback here. So what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 days up in a row. A little bit of a pullback, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days in a row. So Bitcoin has bolted. We can look at Bitcoin here briefly. Bitcoin has had quite a big move, even though it's pulling back a little bit here. And here's Ethereum. Both of them have had pretty good moves. Marathon Digital provides the computing power to mine Bitcoins, which consists of processing and validating transactions. It's mined cryptocurrency as revenue. The faster it can process transactions, the more revenue Marathon generates. Marathon can also sell its mined Bitcoin for additional revenue. Marathon has produced 1,187 Bitcoin in November. Company announced on December 5th. The year-to-date total is 10,999 Bitcoin. The firm's hash rate or speed it can mine Bitcoin rose 20% during the month to 23.1 exahashes per second, making it the largest Bitcoin miner in North America. I know we looked at other Bitcoin miners here on the program maybe about a month ago. Let's see. Can't find Spark right now. But we got Hive. Tried to move up here and now is pulling back. Can't really maintain above 4, but that's that one. And then we got Bitfarms has moved way up as well. And we got hot 8. Has been a little problem moving up. And let's see, Spark Electric. See if I can just find this company's stock just so we can compare. I guess we'll look at that another day, but you can just see Mara Global kind of outshines all of them as being the largest here. So that's our educational portion today. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that we had picked to move higher. So it was at 155. CrowdStrike is now at 256. Got a 2-day pullback here. And Zscaler, 177.50, right about here as it pulled up. It's now at 2287. We took some more profits in BLTE today, which we first brought on the show at 22, 44.52. So we've taken 2/3 profits on this one, and we'll just let the rest ride. ARM is up another 1% today. Kava was up earlier, and we had a little bit of a pullback, got some selling in this. Denison Mines got turned away as it tried to move up here. We'll just see if it comes back to the 50-day moving average and gets any support. Here's the bigger company in uranium mines. It pretty much follows the direction here. So that's why we got the pullback. ELF got a gap up here, up 1.63%. So we said we bought the option at 120, and it's now at 150. A nice move there. Arrow up 3.27% as we bought as it crossed the 50-day moving average. GTLB got a little profit taken today. Not too bad. Bought it at 50, option at 51. Is now converted to stock, and we'll see how this shakes out here. IonQ got a little bit of a pullback here. Broke above its 50-day moving average, moved higher. Now we got a little bit of a profit taking. We bought this a 1450 option. We'll just see if we need to ditch that. IoT bought the option at 25 right before earnings. Stock really popped up here, and like I said, as long as it holds this bottom of the gap up, should be good to continue to hold. Meta We started talking about that one as bouncing between 290 and 300. On the show, we said if the bond yields back off, this thing is going to shoot up. Sure enough, it did. Went up to 330, had a little bit of a pullback, and then went up to 342. Pull back here, we got an option at 330. Now it's moved up to 350. Rivian, we bought the option at 20 and moved up here. We took sold two of the 10 options today. Took a little bit of a profit. And TGLS, we bought I believe it was, yeah, the 45 calls when it was right over here. So it had moved up some, and we're slightly in the money here. We did a spread trade. So we did a 45.50 spread on this one. And if it gets close to 50, I guess we'll roll it to a 50-55, something like that. Tesla, this move up here, we bought the two of the 250 options, and it's in the money now, up 5 points, and we'll just continue to watch that. And that's our show for today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send them in our comments. We're kind of watching Amazon as it kind of broke out yesterday. We've got a little pullback today, and Netflix, which is also kind of breaking out here. So that's our show. Mornings with Michael is for information and educational purposes only. It is your option or your responsibility to do your own due diligence for where you invest. If we can help you in this area, please feel free to reach out to us. Have a great day.